You are listening to Offensive Lines with Marlon and Boyd. Small stakes NFL gambling for the average fan.
Welcome to the Offensive Lines Week 13 Pick Show. I'm Marlon.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm Boyd.
Oh, coming to your work tomorrow. I've got the day off.
Yeah, you better get a cork. You might not make the car ride to the store.
Yeah, I'm suffering from some physical ailments here, which Boyd was so nice to bring up to our audience. Okay, Week 13, right. Bye weeks are over, people. We've got 16 games to do, and I think we just get started.
Yeah, and we should let the listeners know it might be a little longer podcast today because we're betting on every Thanksgiving Day game.
Yes, indeed. So there might be debate. There might not. Who knows? Maybe it'll just be bang, 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 and we're done. But that never happens, does it?
No. And the first one, I doubt it'll be bang, bang.
Okay, so Thanksgiving Day. First game of the morning. Chicago is +7 at Detroit.
I wish Detroit could score some points.
Yeah, but I think their defense is good enough to shut down Chicago.
Yeah, but can they score enough to win by 7?
Not if they... When was the last time they got a touchdown?
You haven't...
5 field goals. Yeah, I mean, this spread's pretty high for a Detroit team that's not showing much. And hasn't for a long time. This is not a new thing. We are not reacting to that New England game, which a lot of teams look terrible against New England. But they needed Mike Smith, patron saint of idiocy, to beat Atlanta in London. They needed a really fortuitous turnover to beat New Orleans at home. And
last-minute drive to beat the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, and this came up short against Buffalo, sort of previous to all of this.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I think Detroit wins this game. I think they get back in the win column.
So do I, but I don't know. Short week. Chicago has an awful defense.
We tend towards, Thanksgiving always plays a little differently than most Thursday
and
games.
Division game. There's a little more pride at stake in these because they know the whole country's fucking watching.
Very true.
It's not a regional Sunday game when there's 8 other games being played at the same time. Bears are out of the playoff chase.
But still talented on one side of the ball.
I would feel better if Detroit's running game had shown anything in the last several weeks.
No, and there's no updates on Bush yet, is there?
No. But
you see, I thought Joyke Bell would be fine in replacement, but he's turned out to be something of a dud.
I don't know where to go on this game right now. It'd be nice if we could tease it.
Yeah, no, I don't even like the tease.
Well, I would like to tease it down 6 and take Detroit -1 because we both think they're going to win.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the coward's way out.
It's the coward's way out, and it involves...
We shouldn't say that, Doug. We shouldn't say that. Loyal listener, Doug, who's in our pick contest, that's how he plays He'll take 3 or 4 games and tease it. So I shouldn't say it's the coward's way out.
In an early book I read, Super Bookie, by the guy who ran the Mirage, I think it was, sports book. Oh, no, it was the Hilton. It was the Hilton sports book. He said it's really tough to figure out odds on a 2-team, 6-point, both home team teasers. They'd done some math that actually suggested that the player had an edge. So it's not a crazy strategy. It's just not one I particularly enjoy. when we've done it, we always get half of it. Always.
Well, and so our bets on Thanksgiving Day are going to be $5 a game. And we're going to do a 3-team parlay for $5 as well.
Yeah. Now, if we wanted to, we could tease that parlay, do a 3-team teaser.
Well, that's not so bad, actually, with the spreads in these games and the teams that are playing.
Yeah. We'll get to that in the end. At first, we've got to decide which sides we like. You know, I'm starting to lean towards Chicago.
No, yeah, but I'm leaning to home teams generally, not always, but generally dominate these short weeks. You lose a day of prep having to travel. Like, you have one day of practice. Yeah. They practice Tuesday. Walkthroughs on Wednesday, or you might get in a short practice before you fly out. And then you have a walkthrough when? In the hotel, in the conference room? Wednesday night?
Yeah, especially when it's early Thanksgiving. You can't even have team meetings in the afternoon.
Like, it's 10:30 in the morning. Like, it's 12:30 Eastern time, 10:30 in the morning here. So, I gotta go Detroit just based on the home team.
Fair enough. And
the short week.
Well, this will be a test for Mr. Caldwell. After, they'd been skating under the radar with their 1- and 2-point victories. After the humiliation at New England, do you think he can get them up?
Well, they'll be up for things. This is their playoff lives, this game.
Now, prior to last year, though, they had stunk on Thanksgiving for most of a decade.
Yeah. But it's still Chicago. They're awful. Like, if
Golden Tate and Calvin Johnson, if they can't get it done in this game, they're not getting it done.
And, like, Chicago struggled to beat Tampa at home last week.
And by a lot of accounts that I've read, possibly shouldn't have.
So I would say Detroit.
Outgamed them. Okay, let's take Detroit there. Next game up. Oh, this is a good one. Philly +3 at Dallas. Half of a playoff game.
I like Dallas here. It's still Sanchez.
Yep.
He still made boneheaded throws against the Titans. Like,
they can throw it and they can run it. Philly's success has usually come against one-dimensional teams recently.
And Dallas they gave up 28 to the Giants. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but Eli's still better than Sanchez.
Yeah, but Philly's fucking talented wideout and running back. Like, fuck.
I still think Philly's defense, I mean, the number of return touchdowns, I keep saying that statistical anomaly will end. It never does.
Dallas's turnovers, they're not turning the ball over as much.
I don't think Philly's going to get any rush on him.
Like the 43 they put up on Tennessee, they got a fumble recovery inside the 30, a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Which is like their 9th or 10th return touchdown of the year.
And Tennessee's against any semblance of a defense, Sanchez looked like shit.
Yeah, and even on Tennessee, didn't he throw a couple of picks?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like Dallas in this. I like them quite a bit. My only worry is, I don't know, Jerry Jones will buy them tickets to the Super Bowl or something and just fuck it all up karmically.
Well, I don't know how Philly stops DeMarco Murray.
And if he it's that O-line. I don't think Philly gets that close to Romo. The only way Washington did it was by sending the house on every play, and Dallas, because their coaching is terrible, seemed unable to react to that and almost got him killed. I mean, the home field doesn't mean much. It'll probably be packed full of Eagles fans, too, if any of them have jobs and can travel.
Well, thankfully they don't have to cross a border.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Half the Eagles fans might not be allowed to leave the state.
Yeah, those ankle bracelets only go so far.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, we got to go Dallas. Yeah,
indeed we do.
Okay.
And another good one to finish off Thanksgiving. And yeah, I'm heading to good friend Mitch's for a turkey dinner on Thanksgiving. He cooks a great bird, so I'll probably.
But you only get to go over for the afternoon games.
Yeah, I know. He
doesn't want to see him, but you're throwing him things while he's watching the Lions.
No, and that's fair. I feel the same way about watching my team in public. But yeah, so I'll probably be dozing off for the first half of the Seattle Niners game. But Seattle is +1 going to San Francisco. I like Seattle in this.
Fuck.
Their defense is playing well again. The Niners' offense has been terrible.
But the Niners' defense has been playing well.
Playing well.
Again. They've got Aldon Smith back. They haven't missed a beat with Willis out on defense. His replacement has played really well.
That's true.
Oh.
But
fuck. Seattle's horrible on the road. Horrible.
I don't think they've been the same both on the road and at home this year for the most part. I think
Seattle?
I think their defense is playing better than the Niners' defense, and the Niners' offense has. Seattle just beat Arizona, admittedly at home. The Niners have struggled through Washington. They struggled against New Orleans, and we're starting to see what New Orleans really is. You know, when was the last solid victory by the Niners?
Yeah, but Seattle struggled in Carolina.
That was weeks ago. When was the last solid victory?
That was like 3 weeks ago. Carolina, they won with 30 seconds left. They lost to St. Louis.
Niners have been brutal at home. Absolutely stinking out that terrible turf stadium they bought.
When's the last time we bet on Seattle? I bet on the Seattle struggled in Kansas City. She only put up 20 points. I know, but 20 points. I would compare San Francisco and Kansas City. Comparable teams.
Yeah, but San Francisco struggled against Washington. And I guess
you
could say Carolina.
So did Dallas. Like, the way the NFL goes this year, I just hate... Seattle, to me, is New Orleans on the road. For whatever reason. There's a talent there, but they struggle
First of all,
on the
even
road.
when they've traveled to San Fran in the past, the games are by 3.
I know.
And I honestly... But
this is only 1.
Seattle's run defense is top-notch.
Is Marshawn Lynch playing?
Yes.
Because he sat out a bunch at the start of the Arizona game.
That was because of his $100,000 fine, and, well, I guess instead of answering yes, I should have answered yeah. Did you see that press conference he did?
Yeah.
Nice. I really prefer Seattle in this place.
We're going to fight over this one. I just hate Seattle on the road. I hate them.
The Niners, I don't think they've covered in about a month anywhere.
Seattle's 500 on the road.
The Niners, yes, but the Niners at home are less than 500. So let's call that a wash. I mean, the Niners lost to the Rams at home. They beat them on the road. Niners are bad at home. Seattle's bad on the road. These games, historically, have been decided by 3 points or less.
I know, but the home team has won them the last few years. They've split.
Harbaugh is on his way out. Carroll's not.
But they're still 7. They're both 7-4. This is a playoff game.
Yeah, and I just think that Seattle showed something by absolutely crushing Arizona.
Yeah, but they didn't crush Arizona. They couldn't score.
Well, there was a reason.
You said it
for
last
that.
night.
No, but
4 trips inside the red zone over 5 and 1 touchdown.
Against one of the best defenses in the league. And San Francisco's defense is okay, but they're not Arizona's defense.
They're pretty fucking good.
They gave up 20 points to Washington, led by RG3.
No, 13. Wasn't that 17-13 final? I think.
I don't know. I just don't think the Niners have beaten anyone all year.
Well, they played Arizona tough in the desert. And if I recall, the Seahawks didn't blow them out in Seattle, did they? Or have they played yet?
Arizona? They played last week.
San Francisco. No, San Francisco.
Yeah. No, this is the first of 2 matchups coming up.
Fuck. I just... Oh.
Harbaugh's going out and doing the... I don't care what anybody says, Colin Kaepernick is a great quarterback, which speaks to me of desperation.
No. If you noticed recently, the game has been put into Marshawn Lynch's hands and not fucking Russell Wilson's.
No, I'm not saying one or the other is better. But I think Seattle's defense is quite a bit better and are playing solidly. And I think Seattle can take away Gore and Hyde, and Crabtree's being brutal. Vernon Davis is being brutal. The only decent offensive weapon San Francisco has had is Anquan Bolden. And when the 35-year-old second wideout is your go-to guy, I think Seattle can take him away.
The home team in this game. In these games, it's the last 2 or 3 years the home team has won on every game in this matchup. For whatever reason.
Well, we can shake our vig if we take Seattle on the money line. I mean, I'd say we'd come back to it, but I think we want to wrap our Thanksgiving extravaganza before we move on to the Sunday games. Unless we don't. I mean, we can come back to it, but San Francisco, they just don't cover. Well, they covered against New Orleans.
It's a win. Underdogs. It's a pick 'em. This is a pick 'em. It's not a cover scenario.
Yeah, and I think Seattle's going to win. This is the problem with betting all the games.
I just don't like Seattle on the fucking road. 500 on the road, and this season series has split every fucking year. And Kaepernick's playing no worse or better than he did any other year. It's the same Kaepernick every fucking year.
Yeah, which is to say he's
mediocre.
Against a really bad defense, he's good. Against a good defense, he's terrible.
I keep thinking about the game plan they had for Seattle last year when they should have won that fucking game. In the NFC Championship game. else can we bet this without picking a winner?
Well, okay.
Take the under on the 40.
Yeah, we hate betting the under. You in particular, you can't stand it, and that's fair enough.
Well, I think it's a better bet than trying to sway me on taking Seattle. I just don't like Seattle here.
And I don't like the Niners here.
One good game.
Anywhere.
Seattle's played one good game in the last month.
That's exactly the same that San Francisco has played. And that was against Seattle played it against Arizona, and San Fran played it against New Orleans.
Yeah, missing their starting quarterback and best wide receiver with Arizona.
Yeah, but the starting quarterback, has won a fair number of games or gotten close.
Do you think Kaepernick's going to... Well, I shouldn't say that. He got sacked 7 times by St. Louis.
Yep. I think he got sacked another 4 or 5 times against Washington. The O-line isn't good, and if you can shut down Frank Gore...
Yeah, but so does... Fucking Romo got hammered by Washington, too. Fuck. All right, I'll give you Seattle. I can't believe I'm doing it, and I'll be cheering for San Francisco the whole fucking game. I just don't think Seattle's that good on the road.
I don't think either team is that good, to be honest.
They remind me of New Orleans when New Orleans would go 11-5. New Orleans would go 10-6, 11-5, win 1 or 2 games on the road, and they're the same fucking team.
Okay, well,
they're 19-2 on home.
This is a rare game then. When next week, if whoever's right can go, I told you so. We don't usually play that because it would end our podcast pretty quickly if we played that way. But this one we can do.
We're taking Seattle on the money line then.
Okay. Yeah, for the single point.
Yeah.
Watch a tie come up. That would actually just prove how brilliant our handicapping was.
Well, we'd still get our money back, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Do we want to tease this?
No, fuck it.
Okay.
Well, I'll make all the bets at the end, but we've made our picks. I haven't been making the bets as we've gone along. We'll do it all at the end like we always do.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
Be easier to keep track.
Okay, moving to Sunday. First game on the slate, Cincy -4 at Tampa Bay. I don't hate it. What do you think?
No, I don't. This is in the mix.
Okay.
Cincy's defense is playing a lot better now, and if Cade McNown's playing, isn't that his name? Or did I fuck it up with Josh
Yeah, I think
McCown?
you confused it with his brother.
With the old Chicago quarterback. Just that second time. Go back in the archives. It's there. No, Cincinnati's defense is playing a lot better. Dalton has played not spectacularly well, but a lot better since that shit game against Cleveland on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we could chalk that up to just short week Thursday night shit because those games never make any fucking sense.
Yeah, they didn't program the Dalton robot correctly on Thursday. There were still some software issues. Overall, he's played an adequate game. With the exception of that Cleveland, really, there have been very few Dalton moments this year. And he tends to do 4 or 5 before he has another complete disaster, which this year will probably be in the playoffs again.
I'll bet against him in the playoffs for sure.
Absolutely. And this one isn't on primetime. Bet against him anytime in primetime. He's just dreadful. Since he's also... Bernard looked healthy again, and now they also have Jeremy Hill. And with Bernard going down, they figured out that Hill's pretty impressive too. That's one of the best running back tandems in the league right now.
Yes. AJ Green appears to be healthy again. They're getting good production out of Sanu at wideout.
Yeah.
Still don't really have any confidence in Gresham as their tight end, but...
No. No, he's not.
He almost
good.
dropped that touchdown pass in New Orleans when he was wide open at the goal line.
Whoa, and the shocking thing that you said there was wide open. That guy cannot seem to get separation.
Well, it was only a 4-yard pass.
I've been watching it. So, yeah. But, no, there's a lot of things I like about Cincy. I think it's definitely in the mix. Don't particularly like laying 4, but Tampa Bay's...
They only scored 13 on Chicago.
Yeah, and they walked the ball up and down the field, and I think Cincy is a better team than Chicago by a comfortable margin. So that one's in the mix.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Cleveland plus 2.5 at Buffalo.
Don't want to touch it.
Nope, neither do I. I can't figure Cleveland, and I can't figure Buffalo.
I like Buffalo in this game. If Atlanta's defense can pick Hoyer off 3 times, he's going to do shit against Buffalo's defense.
Yeah, and as
weather's going to be an issue.
The whole moving the game to Detroit or whatever could be a bit of a rallying call for the entire Bills squad because they
want to win for the community because now they're going to go through flooding because they're supposed to be getting rain and warmer temperatures. It's all going to melt that fucking snow. They're going to have flooding, so they're going to be rallying around the community. We did this for the fans that stuck by us and wanted to lift their spirits. All that bullshit they talk about after. Yeah. I like Buffalo a lot in this game. I just don't want to bet it.
No, I don't want to bet it because actually our records on Cleveland and Buffalo are brutal. Well, mine on Cleveland, yours on Buffalo, so let's just stay the fuck away.
And Cleveland is a bad team with a good record. Somehow.
I still can't figure out how they have their record.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Did we bring it up last night that we lost our legacy bet for the first time since we've been betting Cleveland on the under? Did we bring that up last night?
Yes, but we might win our legacy bet on the Cowboys if they can win this game against Philly. And we did that as a joke after watching the Cowboys defense in the preseason.
Yeah, we did Cleveland pretty seriously. We did not think they were going to get the 7 wins. So, bravo. All right, next game up, New Orleans plus 4 at Pittsburgh.
I don't want to touch this one either.
I'm kind of glad you said that.
Although I think the Steelers are going to kill them.
I think so too. But Pittsburgh isn't good either. Their record is far better than they are as a team.
But you could say that about everybody in the NFL this year.
Well,
every team has had horrible. No, but every team has had a horrible loss.
Oh, I know, but you can't say that they're worse than their record if their record is 2, right?
Well, no, but look at New England got blown out by Kansas City. Pittsburgh got blown out by fucking Cleveland. Kansas City got blown out by the Titans.
Don't forget the Jets beating Pittsburgh.
Jets beat Pittsburgh, but there's no rhyme or reason. The Vikings or the Packers put up 7 points in Detroit. There's no, and the argument we just had with the Niners and the Seahawks, that's proof of the whole league is like that. Denver getting shut down, scoring 7 points in St. Louis. Every good team, every team we think that's top notch has a shitty loss.
Yep.
A really shitty loss.
Well,
not in some years where you get no, that loss for Denver was a shitty loss. That's a shit loss. To score 7 points when you average 35.
Kansas City one really falls into that.
It does because New England looked like complete shit.
They got down early and taken out.
Loss. Shitty loss.
It was a beatdown, and actually, even in the 15-1 years of teams we've seen in the past, Washington went 15-1, won the Super Bowl, lost to a 1-15 Dallas team badly.
Right, but not every team has bad losses like this every year. When you have 13-3, they don't get blown out. They might get upset, but these teams are getting blown out. That's the difference.
Yeah, but
how many good teams have to win 39-36 like Denver did?
Well, it's the rules. I mean, 3 flags make a drive. And that's happened so many times this year that I can't believe it. The drive should have been stopped. And there will be, even if it's calling it ticky-tack, sometimes it's just flat out wrong. And so every team will end up putting up 10 or 14 points by the officials.
But I can't remember a year where this many teams with winning records have had brutal losses at some point in their season. Like, yes, I get where you have a bad week and you might lose, but Denver getting completely shut down in St. Louis and the way New England lost to Kansas City, the way when Kansas City lost to Tennessee, everybody wrote them off, myself included. Because they were awful.
Yeah, we did, but that was an overreaction to a week. Like, we'll talk about this later. Let's not get completely sidetracked.
Come on, I like sidetrack.
Nah, got too many games here today. And we spent, I don't know, about a year and a half on Seattle Niners.
Okay, I'm taking Pittsburgh here.
I am too. If their offensive line can even hold for 2.5 seconds against the absurd and unnecessary blitz packages Rob Ryan is certain to bring up, they're going to torch that secondary.
It won't even matter. Le'Veon Bell is going to rush. If Forsett can run for 180, Le'Veon Bell is going to be good for 130.
Good point. Next game up. The Giants are -3 at Jacksonville. I don't want to touch this one either. This is 2 shitty teams. I like Jacksonville. What can I say? I can't really support that argument with any kind of logical statements.
This is from the guy that took Jacksonville last week +11 or +13 in New England or in Indianapolis. I'm taking the Giants.
All right. So we swung because I took Indy last week.
Yeah, Odell Beckham will do something crazy. The Jaguars' defense isn't good enough. They hung in with Indy for a half and then just couldn't. Bortles was awful.
Yeah, he's regressed from the promise I saw in the first few games where I watched him. He just seems to be getting worse. Well,
and I didn't hear any stats on Denard Robinson. Did he play?
I think Robinson had a decent enough game, but it didn't matter.
No,
I could be wrong on that.
If you take away the run from Jacksonville, they have nothing.
Agreed, but
so I'm taking the Giants.
I'm taking Jacksonville. They're at home, and the Giants are terrible. I think that they got their dick hard for the Cowboys game. And as you said, it's a divisional game. It matters a little more.
But the Giants should have beat the Niners.
Well, don't make me go back there.
So I can't see Eli throwing 5 picks against Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville, but it's certainly a soft position.
Trust me, I hope Jacksonville wins.
Oh, me too, because then we cash that bet.
No, then it means which bet?
We have the Giants under.
Oh.
They need one more loss.
What did we have, Matt?
7.5.
Oh, fuck.
I believe.
They still have to play Philly again.
Yeah, one more loss, and that one's good. So I feel strongly that we have a good chance at that one.
Well, my chance, I want Jacksonville to win because...
Oh, to affect your draft pick.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I need Oakland and Jacksonville to win again, and then Jacksonville to beat Tennessee later on. I need Tampa to get another win. It's a good thing they're still fighting for the playoffs at 2-8.
True, but...
So they haven't thrown in the towel yet. So I just need a couple of teams to sneak past our 2 wins so we can get draft first overall.
Okay.
Okay. We split on that one.
Next game up, Oakland +7 at the Rams.
No.
I don't want to touch
Too
it.
shitty team.
Yep.
Too shitty team theory. So I'm going to take the Rams because Oakland doesn't travel.
I would have liked to have looked this up, and I should have. I would like to see teams that, get to 0-8, and when they finally cash their first victory, because in my memory, they tend to stink it out in the following game.
Well, look at Jacksonville. Who did they beat? Cleveland, and have stunk it out since. So,
and yeah, I mean, a big weight is off your shoulders. I like the Rams a fair bit,
the way their
but
defense has been
not
playing.
Betting like, but
no.
And yeah, I think they're going to tear up that O-line. Carr is also regressing, though I still think he looks pretty good for the most part.
You look good against Kansas City.
Yeah, that was the first time in a few weeks. I still like Carr quite a bit. I think, honestly, Oakland has the first piece. And Holmes is a pretty good wideout, too.
Yeah, but I still can't take him on the road.
No, I'm taking
the way St. Louis has been playing lately.
Though, the Rams should have beaten the Chargers. There's no doubt in my mind. That was their game. They got screwed by the officials.
But you can't say that because then you get fined $100,000.
And you especially can't say it when you're on the competition committee, can you? Looking at you, Mr. Fisher. Anyway,
he'll be gone after this year anyway.
Next game up, we cannot bet. San Diego is +5.5 at Baltimore.
Give me the Ravens, please.
Yeah, give everyone the Ravens. I told you last week that taking the Rams to cover was the best bet on the board. Good listeners, take Baltimore.
Yeah. San Diego's just too beat up.
They're too beat up. They don't.
Although Matthews was running the ball pretty well.
Matthews was running the ball well, and the O-line was actually opening some holes for him. But whenever they drop back to pass, there's zero time. Absolutely zero time. I mean, it looked a little better, but we're back to our fourth-string center again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the German went down again, so... Yeah, and this game just reminds me of how bitter I am that if San Diego had been able to stop famed women's advocate Ray Rice on a 4th and 22, Baltimore doesn't even make the playoffs the year they won the Super Bowl. Just trivia there.
Game of inches. Game of inches.
Okay.
But yeah, give me Baltimore.
Yeah,
I'm not a
I'm
big
taking
fan of
Baltimore too.
either, but at home they're pretty good.
Yeah, I think they're going to win this by 10-17. Next game up, also cannot bet. Tennessee is plus a fairly meager 6.5 at Houston.
No. If Arian Foster's playing, we're dead. But they've got Ryan Fitzpatrick back at quarterback. Not that Mallett looked like anything against Cincinnati. But we cannot stop the run. Foster chewed us up the last time they played.
LaShawn McCoy had one of his few productive games against you last week.
Yeah, but I don't know if Foster's going to play. Fitzpatrick is awful. Houston couldn't run the ball the last couple of weeks with Blue at running back. But he could look like an all-pro against Tennessee. Fuck me.
I'm betting that he does look like an all-pro, and I'm taking Houston.
Yeah, there's nothing that tells me.
It's under a touchdown, so...
Yeah. Give me Houston.
Okay.
Our defense is awful.
Yeah, against the run, you look like the Bears of last year.
Awful.
Okay.
J.J. Watt will probably have 3 sacks again and be snapping selfies.
Oh, God knows what he'll be doing. I think he'll be in the backfield a lot, though. Next up, we have Washington plus 10 at Indy. Number's too high.
Points.
The number's too high.
Yeah, Washington has nothing on offense.
But they've got a pass rush. Indy's O-line is very suspect. And in fact, I think that would be much more of an issue if Luck wasn't so mobile and just generally so good the way he sees the field and gets the ball out of there.
Fuck, that
they have no rushing game, so it's going to be all pass. So I think we're going to see a replay of what Washington did to Dallas. Like, I don't know the result will be the same, but I think we're going to see house blitzes constantly.
I cannot take RG3 on the road, though, even though it's 10.
It's a tight one.
Indy's defense is different at home, too, for some reason. And, Garcon's not a bad receiver. And Deshaun Jackson. Washington has enough talent on offense to do something with the quarterback.
This should be a great spot for Morris.
I'm taking the Colts.
It's just too many points for comfort.
I did
Washington.
That. I said that last week with Tennessee and Jacksonville and got my ass handed to me on both. Give me Indy.
Okay.
I picked the wrong one. I took Green Bay -9 and fucking laid the points, or took the points in the other two.
I laid all the points, and Green Bay royally screwed me.
Yeah. Pick 5.
Okay. Pick 4. I've got to find a pick 4 contest out there. Okay. Next up, we have Arizona -2.5 at Atlanta.
Yes, please.
Is this into our fishy realm?
No.
Because this...
It's only based on Arizona getting beat last week. Atlanta's defense is awful.
Yeah, and Arizona's defense is outstanding. Atlanta doesn't have a good running game.
They have a horrible coach.
So if Arizona can get pressure, and I think they've got the secondary to hold coverage for 3.5 seconds. If Arizona can get pressure in 3.5 seconds, Matt Ryan may not survive the game.
But their offensive play calling last week was abysmal as well. 3rd and 9 from their own 8, and he throws over to Hayden's side, and it was picked off. They had Whitner dropped one that was a pick 6 when Atlanta scored their first touchdown. A play earlier in the drive at the Cleveland 30 was a pick 6, and he fucking dropped it. Right in his hands, dropped it. It was like Ryan threw it to him.
I heard that, but I've not seen the play.
They're abysmal.
No, I love this game too.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this game to the point where
I can't believe it's 2.5. And I'll take the fishiness of it because nothing's made sense this year.
Yeah.
But how is a 9-2 team only 2.5 points better?
Yeah.
And that shitty Falcons team.
Well, Arizona couldn't move the ball, but it's one thing to move it against Seattle and quite another to move it against Atlanta.
Fitzgerald will be back. Ellington will have a good game. They couldn't cover Josh Gordon.
They can go deep on Brown against Atlanta.
Yeah, they couldn't cover... Oh, fuck.
There's no pass rush from Atlanta that I can think of. He's going to have all day. You're right, Stanton may not be as good as or as average as I think.
He's not any worse than Hoyer.
He may be not quite as average as I think he is, but when you get the time that I think he's going to get against Atlanta, he's golden.
And if Crowell from Cleveland could rush for 6 yards a carry against Atlanta, Ellington will do the same.
Yeah, though Crowell has looked pretty good in the last few weeks. I've watched him. Probably the best player. Well,
I'm not taking anything away from Crowell. He's a good back, but Ellington is a good back too, and proven it over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So if Arizona had a good running game until last week, it got shut down. But they're gonna. How is this not like 6.5? How is this not 6.5?
Because it's road. You look at it. So on a neutral field, they'd be 5.5-point favorites. At home, they'd be 8.5. So you think about the number that way, it makes a bit of sense because that's about where they should be at home.
But with that coaching and the offensive line's still a mess.
Yep. Would I say we jump on it?
Yeah. Okay. We'll put that one in the mix.
Next up, we have New England +3 at Green Bay.
And I want to take Tom Brady getting points anytime I can this year.
Yep.
I cannot believe they're underdogs.
It might not be perfect. Green Bay could have that game of bounces, and we might lose this. But no, I love it. It was your tagline 2 weeks ago. Always take Tom Brady in the points.
How can they be the team that can play the we get no respect card?
Yeah.
Underdogs to Denver at home and underdogs now on the road to Green Bay.
Well, and they've put up over 30 against good defenses each and every week. So even if Green Bay can score, and I think that they will score more than most of the opponents have, between Lacey and the receiving core, and of course Aaron Rodgers, yes, Green Bay will score more points. But who are they going to? What are they going to take away from Rodgers? Because that's what they do. Well, that's what they do, but they do it in weird ways. Like in that Indy game, they were rolling their coverages all over. It wasn't like Revis just shut down Hilton or Wayne or anything. There were different people on different receivers all the time. They rolled the coverages around. So to say they just take one thing away, I think, is a little bit simplistic.
But I'm going to compare T.Y. Hilton to a player from the past. He's Ronaldo Nehemiah. He's not a receiver. He's not a route runner.
No, he just sprints down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you don't really have to lock him down. You just don't let him get by you.
Yeah, and then you put extra attention on him in the red zone because he's been a really good red zone. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking who do you think they focus on, Cobb or Nelson? They don't have to worry about the tight end.
Nelson.
So whoever gets Revis, the other receiver is going to have a safety over on him all the time.
I say Nelson. He's the one that always seems to get open deep.
Yeah.
I say they focus on Nelson. Even though Cobb's fast as lightning, he's more dangerous. He seems to be more of a target in the red zone.
Yeah, that's who I was referring to. I got.
And Nelson is their deep threat. So I think it's a combination is we're going to take Lacey out of the game early and put Revis probably on Nelson.
Yeah. I can
see what they can do.
Playing more up to stuff Lacey than any coverage.
Yeah.
They'll put their third corner and a safety and float them between Nelson and that, depending on what their read is. But no, this one's definitely in the mix too.
No, we're betting this one.
Okay.
I'm not leaving points on the board with Tom Brady quarterbacking. And they've got the tight ends working. Gronkowski's healthy. When Gronkowski's healthy, I haven't seen anybody stop this team. They win the Super Bowl if Gronkowski's healthy against the Giants.
That's not an unreasonable assertion. Okay, next game up. We have Denver -1 at KC.
Never again.
I'm just fucking staying away from this shit.
Fuck Denver. We bet on them twice and got fucking our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
So, no, opening week in St. Louis, they fucked us both times. They didn't cover last week against Miami at home.
No, though I didn't think they would, at least, in that
No,
one.
but
at least
no.
they performed well, though it took a late, meaningless Dolphins touchdown. Well, I mean, that onside kick was hilarious, but
Denver needed 28 points in the fourth quarter to win that fucking game, so no thanks.
And they only actually played football for about 20 minutes of that contest.
They haven't played well the last 3 weeks.
Now, we're not betting this. I'm probably just going with my heart here, and I want KC at home.
I'm going to take KC at home as well.
Okay.
Just they're a good football team.
They are.
And they gave Denver all they could handle in Denver. It took an interception at the goal line in the last 2 minutes to preserve that win. Or no, a goal line stop. They on downs. But Denver's they're not as good as I thought they'd be defensively.
Well, what's different for them is they haven't been jumping out to those huge leads.
They have no running game.
Yeah.
Right now.
And
that pass rush in Kansas City is for real.
Like how many times recently?
Yeah. Kansas City's pass rush is
It's like they're only playing for Peyton records now since New England schooled them.
Well, they don't have a running game, so they can't. There's nothing. They tried running Anderson on Sunday, and then they fell behind. So then they just throw it.
Well,
it was like
Anderson had a good game.
He's not a. They don't. Nah. Kansas City will stuff that. And without the tight end, that's a big weapon.
Well, in their O-line, I've been seeing Manning actually get hit.
And Charles is going to run wild in that game.
I think
Kansas City will control
defense for all the names just isn't performing up to snuff.
No. Talib got hurt last week, I believe. The hamstring. That's never good. Even though I've hardly heard his name mentioned in any fucking Denver game. I don't know if that's because nobody throws at him.
Yeah, that could be the case. If you're a cornerback and you never hear his name, that's usually just means
he's not making
so
picks.
Dominant.
I can't see you putting up 36 points and not going at him.
Yeah,
but I'm still taking KC.
All right.
Denver's hit and misses, and they're a different team on the road too. So, well, fuck. This fucking season blows. I just want a dominant team to come out more than New England.
They're pretty dominant at this stage, but
that's what I'm saying. I want more than one team.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
You could throw the rest of these teams in a fucking hat. And it wouldn't fucking matter come playoff time to pick the Super Bowl winner out. They're the representative in the NFC anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that mid-90s was much the same. Anyway, final game of the week. Miami, -5.5 at the Jets.
Nope.
I like Miami in this, but it's being played in Jersey, which has been the site of some suspicious lines.
No, Miami in the cold weather sucks.
Really? I can't think of.
Fuck, they lost. They went to Buffalo, got schooled. No.
I don't want to bet it for the simple reason it's taking place in New Jersey.
But then the weather. Miami doesn't travel in fucking late November, December. Well, December 1st, they don't fucking travel. December, cold in New York, they stink.
Historically, they've been a pretty good team lately, so I don't know how much I can read into.
No, they're probably going to win this fucking game, but I don't want to bet money on it with your money. I wouldn't bet your money.
No, I don't want to bet on this game either, though I like Miami quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm taking
no trouble taking Miami in this game.
And how can the Jets look like the team that's out of sync fucking with that game being moved? They weren't the ones getting snowmobiled to the fucking airport to get on the plane to go to the game. Oh, they're just a horrible team.
Oh, they really are. And Vic is done.
But some team's going to get a good D coordinator out of it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and as long as he realizes now that he should never again be a head coach.
But I can't put this all on him if he didn't get a say in the players that they picked in the draft and everything.
His dad, regardless of what say he had, who he had, whatever, the offense stinks. Ryan has never been the head coach of a team that had an even tolerable offense.
No.
Not a single one. And at least one son doesn't seem to be particularly good at defense either. Okay.
We missed a game.
What did we miss?
Panthers and Vikings you missed.
Holy crap. All right. My mistake.
I was going to mention it earlier because you started right below him on the sheet. But I thought, well, maybe it was in a different order when you wrote them down or something, but.
No, my fault. Sorry about that. So this is a morning game?
Yes.
That we don't want to touch?
Carolina at Minnesota. Panthers +3 at Minnesota. No, I don't want to touch this one, but I figured we had to give our opinion.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm so sorry. Usually I count them up, but the page was so full already, I thought I just must have had them all.
No, it was just the Seattle-San Francisco talk knocked you off your game. So, no, I'm taking Minnesota here. Cam Newton's been awful the last month. Well, most of the season, for that matter. Running game suspect for Carolina. I love Kelvin Benjamin's been good this year, but Newton's been throwing everything 8 feet over everybody's head for the last month. He hasn't had a good game since Cincinnati.
No, where they ran him, they might have gotten him hurt there. So,
but they're still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah,
they're still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, they might be the favorite in that division, but they're not good.
No, I'm taking Minnesota.
Yeah, What's the spread on that?
3.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's take care of those Thanksgiving Day games.
All right.
So we're taking Detroit -7.
Yep.
And that $5 bet's going to pay a whopping $9.78. Booked. We're taking Dallas -3 at home over the Philadelphia Eagles. $5 bet pays $9. Booked. Begrudgingly, we're taking the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, we're taking that on the money line.
Yes,
Sorry.
I was just going to bring that up.
Let me get that out of the way. Seattle on the money line is -105. Our $5 bet pays $9.76. That is booked. And now for the parlay. I'm guessing we're taking all those teams just to win, or are we taking the spread?
Oh, it's a 3-team parlay. It's just...
Oh, the money line's not going to pay fuck all.
Okay, then we might as well take them.
We'll take the spread on the 2 and the money line on the Seahawks, just like we bet it.
Okay.
So we're taking Detroit -7, Dallas -3, and Seattle on the money line. Parlay is $5 bet. Why doesn't it show me what it pays? It's going to pay $25.30. Booked. Oh no, $34.30. My mistake.
That made a little more sense to me. I was thinking that's.
Well, it was showing up as a 5.
I was just thinking that's a pretty cold house edge on a 3-team.
No, but
parlay.
it was showing as at plus 506.
Oh, okay.
So I was just doing it 5 times 506.
Yeah.
But okay, $34.30 on that one.
Okay.
So maybe now I will cheer for the Seahawks.
Yeah, you have no choice, really. Okay, I'm just going to recap the Thanksgiving bets right now. We have Detroit -7, Dallas -3, and Seattle on the money line. We have also parlayed them in one ticket where 5 pays $34.30.
Woohoo! Okay, now for our $10 bets. And we're looking at, okay, the one we're taking for sure. 2 we're taking for sure.
Yep.
Arizona, -2.5 at Atlanta. $10 bet pays $18.89. Booked. Do we want to take the Patriots outright?
Yeah.
So we have New England on the money line, which was good to us against Denver. Did we take him against Denver?
No, I wanted to. That
we
took them against Indy.
Indy, they were underdogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted the Denver one, and that was the last time I think you'll ever bet against getting points with Tom Brady.
Oh, yes.
Especially at home.
Yes. So we have New England on the money line, $10 at +150, pays $25.
It's a good price.
That is booked. Yep. Now, the other one we had was Cincinnati.
And that's the only other one that we had in the mix?
Okay. Then in the Cincinnati, it'd be... Whoops, hit the wrong fucking line. We have Cincinnati -4 at Tampa Bay. $10 pays $19.09. We are done. If you want to recap those 3?
Yeah, our Sunday bets are Cincy -4 at Tampa. 10 pays $19.09. We have Arizona on the road -2.5 at Atlanta. 10 pays $18.89. And we have New England +3 at Green Bay on the money line. 10 pays. Oh, so we don't have that +3 because it's just money line.
Money line.
10 pays $25 for the outright win.
Oh, it's going to be fun on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I love betting those games. They're fun. I could give 2 fucks about Chicago, Detroit. The other 2 games I like.
Yeah, Chicago, Detroit is fun anyway, but...
but personally, I don't give a fuck. The $5 makes me care about this game. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a fuck who won. The Philly-Dallas game is interesting in a couple of ways because we have Dallas to win the East, NFC East as our legacy bet because we bet them every year we've been doing the podcast. 3 years because we thought they'd win it this year just because we'd always bet it. And San Francisco-Seattle is one of the best rivalries in football right now, so fuck.
Yeah.
And I hate having to cheer for Seattle. You should know you've twisted the knife deep, my friend.
Sorry.
But
we'll make it up later in the season when there's a close call. I'll acquiesce.
All right. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I just want to wish our American listeners and people like me who celebrate U.S. Thanksgiving in Canada.
I would if I didn't have to work.
Thursday, everybody.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to my oldest brother, Howard. It's his 61st birthday today, November 25th. So happy birthday, Howard, if you're listening. Don't know if you do, but if you are, happy birthday. So you can check out our podcast on iTunes or Stitcher for your Android device, on our website, offensivelines.ca. Follow us on Twitter at Offensive Lines for any new blog posts or when a new podcast is posted. Facebook.com/Offensive Lines. And if you want to send us an email, it's offensivelines@shaw.ca. I'm Boyd.
I'm Marlon. And that was our picks show for Thanksgiving week 13.
And once again, never bet against Tom Brady and the points.
Generous fucking gambler.